you know, Kanye is an artist, man.
Yeah.
And he's a genius.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever he's saying right now, I think that the angle he's seeing things from is about the division that he sees. And he's not inconsistent with what he's saying. For instance, a decade ago, I read a quote where he said he wanted to take the Confederate flag and reappropriate it some other different kind of way. And there's a MAGA hat, whatever, man. The thing that's scary about this presidency is after it. I don't know if you've been married before or had a girlfriend and said something in a fight that was so wrong, and then after that, we still family, we still around each other, but man, I sure did say all that, didn't I? And I'm not mad at Kanye. That's my brother. I love him. I support him. But, you know, I don't have to agree with everything that he says. I just trust him as a person of intent. But, yeah, he shouldn't say all that.
That's Dave Chappelle. That is how you react to somebody who you disagree with.
Yeah.
From an intelligent position on having a differing opinion.
Yes, exactly. Because what the Democrats have really gone towards, what the leftists have gone towards now, is just unpersoning people.
Yeah.
Or lessen them as an individual, so that you can basically trample them underfoot and just be done with it. But you know, Democrats have been unpersoning people since the beginning, haven't they?
That's an interesting way of putting it, because it's true. It's you have to disqualify somebody's mere presence. And if you can, as an individual, boy, we have done that in this country before.
Yeah.
And how are we getting back to that?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting that it's the same party involved all the time, though, isn't it? I'm just saying.
I see what you
it's
did
just
there.
it's just an observation. It's just.
Hey, what'd you do with that old playbook? Don't get that one.
Let's just change some of the words
so
in here.
well.
Just change some of the words. Yeah.
It's
sad. All the same. Nothing new under the sun.
So I said we were going to take some phone calls here real quick. Before we get to that, I want you to go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Fry Show, and vote on the poll that we have going on there. And also, we're in here with Gabe Pfeiffer, who is St. John the Philosopher on YouTube. Go subscribe to his YouTube channels.
Please.
He does great work there. On Twitter at philosopher_ST, correct?
Yep.
So go follow him there. I want him to double his followers by the time he leaves. And there's another thing about Twitter. I know some of you folks don't use Twitter, but you can use Twitter just for us. You don't have to use Twitter. I remember when my dad was like, I don't have anyone I want to talk to. And I'm like, you don't have to talk to people.
That's not how that works.
It's not really like that. It can be a complete one-way street. You say, I like this person, I like that person, I think this person is crazy but funny to watch in a meltdown, and I like that person. You put them in one stream and you read and communicate. So go make a Twitter handle. If you've never done that before, follow at Annie Fry Show, follow at philosopher_ST, follow Tony Colombo 971, follow at F971 FM Talk on Twitter, and just hang out with us, because that's what we're doing.
971.
And KFitz 971.
Oh yeah, that is mine.
Yeah, that's you.
I don't remember what it was. She keeps changing her name.
I did. I've changed my Twitter handle 3 times, and I noticed it because of Tony.
Yeah.
Tony was like, change your Twitter handle. What are you doing?
So go on Twitter and follow us and enjoy the conversation. Vote in that Facebook poll. Let's get to some phone calls here. We're in studio right now. We've got Tony in here. We've got Gabe in here, and Katie and I. And we just want to have a conversation with you about the Kanye West experience. It's KWE. That's what we're going to call it from now on. Yesterday in the Oval Office, and then the aftermath of it that took place with all the people who just were staring blankly into the camera like, we got nothing. This is really bad.
Trigger warning.
Really, really bad. Yeah. 314-241-9797. It's like we should have a Trump. We used to have the color-coded terror.
Oh, yeah. The
we should have thing. The liberal trigger color code system. It's a code red, folks.
Well, it would never leave red.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd have to subdivide it or something.
Yeah. I don't know. But yesterday it was full on. It was ridiculous. Let's get to Jordan first. Jordan, thanks for calling the show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I really enjoy your show.
Well, thank you.
I just wanted to say, as an African American, and I wasn't really into, I wasn't really into the whole left versus right back in this time. But back in 2005, after Hurricane Katrina, Kanye West famously said George Bush doesn't care about black people. And at the time, I was in college, and I just remember, not really feeling proud, but just feeling a way, man, someone that famous is calling out the president for perceived injustices for what's going on to people who look like me in a certain area of the United States of America where they weren't getting the help that they needed. And then 13 years later, to kind of see him piling around with a president who, if I don't really enjoy using the word racist, but a president who has not really doused the flames of divisiveness and the whole kind of alt-right versus.
All right, Jordan, let me ask you a question here, because I understand exactly what you're saying, but just a small, I just want to be clear on this. Do you think that the president is racist?
Do I think that the president is racist? I don't think that he's racist.
But you think he should have done more to specifically probably Charlottesville and other opportunities to make it extremely clear how racist he wasn't?
I think that in not saying you don't have to be like, oh, I love black people and I have black friends, but yeah, you're right. In Charlottesville and the whole lead up to like the campaign, and I wish we could go back in the day where we would, do this and that to you, and he didn't call out the guy for punching the black guy in the head while he was being escorted out of the rally. There are just things that he could have done better, and to see Kanye West, who has historically been someone that has been almost like we don't have Martin Luther King's or Malcolm X's or Medgar Evers anymore, but someone that would take up the plight of black people in the country and say, yeah, George Bush doesn't care about us. And to see him piling around with a president that hasn't really done much to say, hey, I'm not against this side that's coming against you, then it really kind of, like, to me, I wouldn't say, oh, his mother's flipping over in her grave or that he's, less of an individual for this. I'm just saying, man, like, I remember when you.
Well, how much is the rhetoric worth, though? How much is the rhetoric worth? Because we got a lot of all the touchy feelies with Obama in office, but what did he actually do for the black community? I mean, right now, black unemployment is as low as it has ever been. There are more jobs right now than there are workers seeking it. Black entrepreneurship is up 400%. Look, if we've been talking about how black empowerment is going to come from economic empowerment and how we can make the black community in America better through that economic empowerment, Trump is the only president in the last 40, 50 years to actually accomplish something for the black community in that, and he's getting zero credit for it. And that's one of the things that Kanye brought up. He said, look, we need to get jobs, we need to get empowerment centers, we need this and that and the other thing, and that's what he's talking about. And yet we're getting this, well, he needed to come out a little stronger about that guy that one time at the rally. Come on.
I think that it comes off as, yeah, Trump's in office when that stuff happens. So he gets to tout that he's the president that made it happen. But we all know
don't give me that all know. No, every economic indicator going into this presidency said our economy was in the toilet and was going to stay there. President Obama said the same thing himself. Those jobs aren't coming back. What magic wand does he have? Well,
the economy was growing, just not at a rate.
No, see, that's all fake growth. I want to point you to an investors.com article that explains exactly the reality that 95% of the jobs made under Obama were part-time or temporary. That's not a recovery. That's limping along and pretending as though we're doing something good. All of the jobs that have come, like 4 million of them that under the Trump administration, are real jobs. We're talking about a median income that's up near $70,000 now. Look, the numbers, we can pretend as though this is all kind of smoke and mirrors and that Trump is just taking credit for something Obama started. But the reality is exactly the opposite. This is actually what Trump has accomplished. And you can't take it away from him.
I think that's all great. I don't really want to debate Trump's accomplishments versus anything else. I'm just saying that for Kanye West, when you hear when you're talking about what they were saying on Don Lemon and this, it's emotional because he was this. So like him championing Trump doesn't come from a place of facts, because they weren't talking facts last night. They were talking how it made them feel. And they brought up his mother, and they brought up other emotional things. That's all I'm saying.
They brought up the emotional things. And yes, he talked a little bit about the emotional things, but he also talked about jobs. He also talked about starting centers in inner city communities to teach people new skills and everything, to empower them. See, that's the thing. The news did not talk about what Kanye actually talked about. I watched the actual interview, okay? I watched the actual thing.
He's spoken about that before. He has Donda's house in Chicago, and the big criticism about that is he left Chicago and left that organization, and all those promises that he said that he was going to do, he hasn't done them. So to come back now and say that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and the MAGA hat is my Superman cape, and all this, it just sounds ridiculous. Like taking Kanye West just at the last 6 months is one thing, but if you look back into the past and see what he said and what he stood for, and then to see it now, then I can understand.
Well, hey, look, if Kanye stood for the black people, then the issue is how good are black people doing right now compared to let's say 4 years ago? Can you agree we're doing better now than we were?
I can say that individually I am, but once again I'm 29 years old, so I mean I went to college, I graduated, I have degrees and things like that. But
so all the numbers I talked about are irrelevant.
I didn't say. I'm just not debating numbers with you because you know.
No, that's real life though. We're talking about 4 million people who didn't have jobs who have jobs now. That's real life. You ain't got a job, but now you do.
Hey, Jordan.
Are those all black people?
Hey, you guys.
You know what?
Go to your corners.
You know what?
Think about what you've said.
I think you're a little bit more like I don't know. Like you're a little bit more up there than I am. I'm just saying.
Where?
I think in age.
Well, maybe.
Of what happened.
He said you're old.
Not really the numbers.
Well.
If I were to debate numbers with you, I'd totally lose. I don't know the numbers.
Jordan, Jordan, I really appreciate you calling in here. Great conversation. I enjoyed just sitting and listening to that. If Katie, my producer, wasn't like, we have to go to a break, I would have just let you guys finish the show.
Have a great show, and Guy, for sure, great numbers, man. Have a good day. Have a great day.
All right, man. Keep listening. Keep listening.
High five, Jordan. Thank you for calling in. It's always good to have different opinions on here in these discussions. More coming your way after this break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with phones. We got one line open, 314-241-9797, and be sure to stay tuned for Roy Blunt. Senator Roy Blunt joining us at 2:10. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.